Hey everyone, this is H2TechVideos. I am guest starring. My name is RICKY, the Android guy. Today we're going to be showing you what to do with your first time with the Asus Transformer Prime. On button is right over here at the top left of the tablet, and it takes us to our unlock button, which the unlock you actually can just go to unlock, or you can go directly to your camera on the left, or just unlock on the right. So we're just going to unlock it normal for right now. But just so you know, you can go directly to your camera if you ever need to take a quick picture. Now, today we're going to be going over each section of the tablet. And, zoom in a little bit too much, but you guys see how nice and crisp that text is. So, right here at the top left, it's kind of hard to see with all the clouds, you have your Google search or your voice search. So this is really nice because you can actually search anything on Google or on the tablet itself. Say if you want to search a contact, if you want to go to an app, you can type it in right here and search it on the tablet or on the web. You can also just actually use your voice and speak a command. If you're not online, you'll get that error message. So you want to be online when using that, or else it'll be like, there's a connection problem. You don't have internet. Now, as we're moving on, there are 3 buttons right over here at the bottom that you cannot see, and now you can. There is the back button, which will take you back on any app you're on. So if you're on the camera app, and you're viewing your pictures and everything like that, right now you're going to see it blank because it's not lifted. You can actually just go back. And when you go back, it'll take you directly back. However, if you were searching a video on YouTube and you just wanted to go back to the main set of videos, that's the button you would push, which is the back key right over here. Then you have the home key, which will take you back home anytime you're in any app, no matter how far you're in, whether you've gone on 10 websites. We'll just go home and have a nice little home so you always know where the home is. You also have a multi-screen. So I'm just going to open up a few more apps and go back home. Now the multi-screen will bring up all your recent apps that you have had open. Now another thing you could do with this is actually close the recent apps so they go away from their hibernation setting and actually just away permanently, just by a swipe. Now this will actually make sure that it's not in your cache, and your tablet will move much faster, of course, but if you ever just need to bounce back from app to app, it's just that easy. Now we're going to go to the bottom right section right over here. Now here is called the notification bar, which you bring up just by touching the number key. Now this might seem a little bit intimidating, a little bit confusing, but I'm going to break it down for you so you know what each section of this means. No internet connections means you have no internet, which normally you'd be connected to the internet and you wouldn't have that there. It'll show you what Wi-Fi connection you have right there. Right over here in this middle row, you have a bunch of icons that we do not know what it stands for. I can't really help you with that. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, you have a couple of neat sections divided here. So this first section is actually going to be normally on here, which is called balance mode. Now, this is how your normal tablet will generally be, is always just in balanced performance. Now, what this means is the performance will be balanced between energy saving as well as performance. You can, however, change it to power saving mode, which will give you a much longer battery life, but your tablet's not going to be using the quad core capability. It just won't work as fast. Now, if you are a performance junkie like me, you'll have it in performance mode, which will run much faster, but your battery is not going to be the best in that case. It'll still average out to over 8 hours, but you might not get your full 10 hours, so just something to be wary of. Over here, you have the rotate, so it'll automatically rotate when you rotate, as long as you lift it up, and then it'll rotate. You can turn that off by just touching that one icon. Over here, you have your Wi-Fi, turn it on, turn it off. Over here you have the universal Bluetooth symbol, so that'll have your Bluetooth on or off. Over here you have your silent mode on or off, so you know if you're ever in a place where you're supposed to be quiet, you're supposed to turn that on. If you don't, you know, I mean, then you're just mean. And then over here you have your auto sync. This will auto sync every account you have on here. So if you sync onto your Facebook, you'll get Facebook notifications. If you sync onto your Gmail account, you'll have Gmail notifications. If you have your Outlook calendar, you'll have Outlook notifications. So whatever accounts you have, if it's on auto sync is on, it'll automatically sync up right away. Over here you have your IPS Plus mode, which you can turn on and off by a tap, and this will be regular IPS mode. This will be IPS Plus mode, and you actually see it tells you what it's for. This is for outdoor. This is so bright that you can actually see it clear as day outside, which is currently right now only one of 2 tablets you can actually see outside. You can also just have auto brightness. So right now it's in a very bright area, so it's like, hey, you don't need all this power. So it'll adjust by itself depending on how bright it is. And as you can see, as I put it towards light, it kind of is like, hey, I don't need this much light. And if I put it away from it, it'll go down. So it does it for you. Over here is your settings button. Now the settings button will take you to your main setting page, which, just for a quick rundown, your most things you use is going to be right up here. Things you use less often right here, and the things you never use are going to be all the way down at the bottom. But Wi-Fi will be up here. Turn it on and off simply, and then, you know, scan to add to your collection of Wi-Fi networks. Bluetooth on and on, and you can actually measure your data usage. So for those of you who are on a broadband card, you can actually limit your data so it stops automatically, which is pretty nice. You can set limits for yourself and have it from month to month and set the time frame. So it's pretty nice. Over here you have your sound, display, storage, all kinds of fun stuff. The only other thing you'll need is for your accounts. If you ever want to add an account, you go to Accounts and Sync and add an account. And it's just that simple. As you download apps that have accounts, you have that ability. Over here on the top right is going to be one of your most used parts, which is your app drawer. This brings Android to its most simple view. Simple view meaning it's all of your apps you have in alphabetical order. And just that simple. You have a nice 3D-like effect too, which is pretty nice. And of course these will grow as you add more apps. As you move on to the left, you'll see all your widgets here. Widgets are pretty nice and useful, and they each have different features that make it stand out. Like this one, it'll actually close everything with one touch of a button. There are other widgets which can be useful, such as a bookmark widget, and you can just drag it to any screen just by moving it along. Now another important tip is you can actually resize some widgets. How you do this is simply holding it down, and you see these little diamond patterns on the side outline it. Now when you have that, you can actually pull it whichever which way to make it as big or as small as you want. And remember, if you ever want to remove anything from your customized home screen, you just hold it, and there's a little remove section that pops up right there, and it'll highlight it red when you remove it. Alright, the other main things that you want to know is just if you ever want to download a new app, you're going to go right over here to the market section and not touch the music icon when you do it. And that'll be it. So there's your basic walkthrough of how to use your first time with the Asus Prime. Only other thing I want to make sure to tell you guys is you do have a version of Office right on here. I know it's always a big question. It's called Polaris Office. So have fun, explore, and use it. Trust me, you have a great tablet, just how you use it. Have any other questions? Leave them right down below in the comment section, and we'll make sure to answer them.